Everybody, it's Michael and Julie again here with
Hello there.
Solas Inspirational Chats. And tonight we're blessed to have David Essery, spiritual mentor, um, spiritual artist, channeler, and a lot of other things as well. And Julie has been enjoying his podcast over the last little while, both his own and with the wonderful Tim Wilde. So we're very lucky to have him on tonight and to talk
Yes.
about 2025 for us.
Yes, and we're very grateful. We know you're a very, very busy person. I was delighted when you replied to my email. So thank you so much. And you're our New Year's special, David. So we would be delighted if there is any. Well, first of all, maybe introduce yourselves because we call Ireland Éire. We go back to the original name, which is the name given to our island, meaning sovereignty and love, not Ireland, Angerland. So sometimes I might speak a little bit of Irish or call it Éire. But would you like to introduce yourself to our viewers? Because a lot of them are based here and they may not be familiar with the podcasts that you offer on a regular basis.
Absolutely. First of all, I just want to say thank you so much for inviting me to join you guys here. It really is such an honour to be with you. I'm so grateful, and what a joy to be a part of the New Year's special. So thank you.
Yeah.
My name is David Essery. I consider myself a spiritual mentor, I guess, as well as a spiritual artist. I'm based in the south of England. I primarily do my work through YouTube and through Facebook, where you can find me and I share regular videos on those platforms and run lots of online events. I also channel artwork. Sacred geometry is a big part of what I do, and all of my work includes a lot of that element. But really, my goal in what I do is just to kind of assist people through their own pathway, through my own experiences. I'm very much am going through this ascension process like we all are at the moment. And I just like to share my experiences of what I see, what I feel, what I hear, and share that with others in the hope that it helps. And a lot of that actually works through channeling. I do a lot of channeling work for the Ascended Masters, quite often the Archangels as well, and sharing their wisdom, their love, their encouraging support, really just to help guide us through this crazy, crazy process that we are working through at the moment.
Well, it's certainly crazy. Yes, we
Yeah.
have to fasten our safety belts on a regular basis. But I think we're so privileged
That's
to be
it.
able to all be able to connect with each other. That's the one thing Michael and I say about the internet. The light workers globally are connecting. It's not just in a little island or in a little province. So we find it fascinating. And it's great, obviously, that we all speak English so we can understand each other. But Michael and I have tuned into your meditations and we have tuned into the podcasts you've done with Tim, and they are so powerful. They're absolutely magnificent. And I think you have a special
Thank you.
message that you're going to share with our viewers, which is, well, we're delighted and
Yeah,
very,
I'm
very
privileged.
grateful
Yeah.
too. So thank you whenever suits you.
That's it. We wanted to speak about the coming energies of 2025 today. So I thought I would sit down and tune in and see if any of the masters wanted to share a message with us. And I'm very pleased to say the wonderful Sanat Kamura has come through with a message which I'd like to read you guys now. So this is what
Great.
you had to say.
Thank you.
Beloved sons and daughters of the great unending sun, it is in deep gratitude and humble respect that I join you today to share what insight I can for the year ahead. Of course, it is so that the outcome of the year shall be determined by you who walk the earth, for you are the guardians of the Great Mother and facilitators of the global ascension. However, I can speak to the energies that shall support you in this endeavour. It is to be a year of tremendous flow, where you find solace in the support at hand. With the release of the great density whose final remnants leave us as we speak, it is to bring a period of forward momentum. It shall take a short time before you witness this manifest, but let me assure you, the process has already begun. Once time for proper integration has been given, those dedicated souls of the light shall find themselves stood upon a new horizon. no longer witnessing the pushback of old, but instead embracing the wind at their back. It is to usher a period of stepping forward, where these souls take a leap across the pond onto the next stepping stone of their journeys. This shall be the step of recognition, where no longer able to suppress their light within, it shall burst forward in an array of splendour, enlightening the world in its great glory. And so it is that God shall be manifest upon the earth once again, alive and breathing through your very action. For those awakening, it shall offer representation of the divine, accelerating these souls from hope to faith. And so the light shall spread, as these enlightened souls step out into their world, shining their ever-loving hearts, so that those ready to see shall see the great bounty that lies ahead. Yours in loving wisdom, Sanat Kamura.
It was lovely. Thank you very much.
Say, my
Absolutely. Yeah.
goodness.
Thank you.
Yeah, I felt like closing my eyes. It's just magnificent. Thank you so much. Very privileged. Thank you for
Yeah.
sharing
My
that with
pleasure.
our viewers too.
My pleasure.
Yeah.
It's a very, very interesting time where we are moving at such an unbelievably fast rate. You know, this particularly starting from the solstice in June of this year, the incredible shifts that we went through as a planet, and the actual, because this ascension process really, it's as much about the planet than it is about us. In fact, it's the planet that's ascending and we're just trying to keep up with her, which is why it feels like we're constantly being dragged along sometimes. And she went through a monumental shift, which has kind of escalated out into the world around us, where, you know, without going into too much detail, like last month in November, we saw huge amounts of density collapsing from the third dimension around our planet, which is, we're going to see, as he was kind of saying in his message, manifesting as we move into next year, with seeing that change manifested within the people, within society, within the infrastructures we have around the planet, where people begin to open their eyes and see, and we finally move into a position where we can create change. And along with that, more abundant positive energy flowing for those of us that are ready to take the next steps in our journey, the leaps of faith, as they always seem to turn out to be, so that we can really step forward into that light, into that mastery, whether that's just having a conversation with our colleagues at our work and just spreading, you know, opening that heart wide open so that we can shine that love for all to see, or whether that's stepping onto the grand stage in front of auditoriums of people, it doesn't matter. It all has a profound shift on the world around us, and that's what I feel we're going to be seeing a lot more of in the next year. And I think that's what a lot of Sanat Kamura's message was pertaining to. It's truly exciting times, as chaotic as the world seems out there right now. We are living in the most incredible time, and the energy is just ramping up on a day-to-day basis, and if we bring ourselves into alignment with it, in tune with it, and we use its positive momentum to push us forward, incredible things can happen.
Very true. Yeah, and I think that's what, you know, there's a certain amount of resistance in people to what's going on, and they're the ones who are suffering, and they're the ones who are finding difficulty in everyday life, you know, for whatever reasons, and then of course tuning into, you know, where they shouldn't be tuning into the box in the corner or the papers or the media or whatever, which is doom and gloom at the best of times. But I think if people can trust, you know, they're here, there's if you believe there's 8 billion souls on the planet, they're not all here for the bad time. They're here to see us ascend. They're here to join in. I believe every soul that ever existed is back at this stage, which gives us the numbers. But yeah, once you're in the flow, everything works. You know, it really is. You know, don't fight against it. Just go with it and trust. And trust, I think, is very important.
That's it. There's not a single person on this planet at the moment that didn't make the decision to come down during this ascension process. Whether they're still soundly sleeping or whether they're wide awake, they are for the process, and they have a part to play within it, whether that's within their own world and the worlds of the people around them, or on a much larger scale. Everyone has a role to play in this, and we all have so much to learn, so much to experience. And you know, I honestly believe that as we start to see people stepping forward and offering us an example of a better way of being, that people will flock to that, because everyone is struggling in the current situation, whether they're awake or not. Life is very challenging right now. You know, I think we can all probably kind of agree to that. Life is challenging, and I think even those sleeping the deepest right now desire change. They want a better way of being, but they just don't know what it is. They don't know what direction to go in, because they haven't had the experiences that we have. But as soon as those people start stepping forward and showing an example, these people will go, that's it. That's what I want.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so the process begins, and it flows, and it spreads, and it moves. And that's how we change the planet. It doesn't matter what's going on in the collective. It doesn't matter what's on the news. None of that stuff matters, because there's no way that it can withstand the power of a united people, a united humanity, which I know is something so important to you guys.
Yes.
Once the people come together, the people have the power.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Once they can come together in a place of peace and love and humanity, and just say no. That's all it takes. Just say no, we want something better. We're going to go and do this now.
Yeah.
And change will happen.
Definitely. Yes, I think, yes, Gandhi springs to mind. Yes, and he managed to do that, and he was such a wonderful role example. So I think if we become the change we want to see in the world, there's a ripple effect, and the energy at the moment is so powerful, and as you say, our influence is so incredible. And I want to say too, David, I think we could listen to you all evening, but what we'll do is we'll put your details in the description underneath, and how people can get in touch with you, and links to your YouTube and your Facebook page, because we really appreciate your time. We know that you're very busy and you have a lovely wife. I loved that story about how you met her and the crystal. And my husband has massive cabinets of crystals. So please God, one day, four of us will all meet, because I often feel that there is a soul recognition too. When you hear people, I say to Michael, I'm sure in a previous time we've connected.
Yeah.
But we are going back to Glastonbury. We have brought people to Montsegur and to Carcassonne on Mary Magdalene trips in France for the past 2 years, and next we're going to Glastonbury, so we'll be going to the Tour and to sacred sites. So I think the June weekend. So sure, we'd love to have a couple with you if that suits. I'm sure we'll be chatting via email.
Sounds lovely.
Before then, but thank you so much for your time this evening. We really appreciate it, and for sharing that profound message.
Yes, yeah, thank you very much.
Thank you so much for having me. It really is an honour, and thank you all for tuning in. Sending you all so much love, and wishing you the most beautiful 2025 ahead.
Thank you. Yes, it's going to be wonderful. Absolutely.
Yes, as we say here, Athleen Fuivasha, which means Happy New Year. So Gurmila Mahagath, David. And thank you so much to everybody for tuning in, and we hope to see you again on our regular Sundays Ho'oponopono prayer. And join us as we try to raise the vibration of our beloved Gaia. Namaste, Slán agus Bana.
Beautiful.